Silent Salt's Beast Raid boss is here for expert mode. You may have seen teams that look like this, or this, or this. All of them have Plavova for some reason, an epic cookie who's been useless for quite a while. There's also teams without Silent Salt, like this, and this, and this. But which is the best variation for faster clears, and which is the most free-to-play friendly? Today, we're gonna test some teams out, and maybe I can get a decent score as a free-to-play player. So first off, we have the best team that does not include Silent Salt. It has Palm, Mint, Creme Brulee, Star Coral, and Marshmallow Bunny. So why is this variation the best, and not the others? Some teams include Awakened Hollyberry, Fire Spirit, Sea Farty, even Eternal Sugar. Well, there's 3 reasons. 1. There's not a single legendary, ancient, or beast cookie in this team, so it's extremely beginner friendly. 2. So Silent Salt teams are used to kill the boss fast, and this Creme Brulee team is paired with Silent Salt anyways. Basically, it works standalone, but it also works alongside Silent Salt. And 3. We need to analyze the boss itself. The boss has 2 phases. In its first phase, it gets nuked by Silent Salt, which we aren't using yet. However, Brulee is still able to deal tons of damage, just a lot slower than Silent Salt. Once you deal a bunch of damage, the boss gets unchained and enters his second form. Here, everyone's attack speed isn't nerfed anymore, so the Brulee team is used. However, there's something really important that makes or breaks a team. The boss has tons of damage resist, so damage resist bypass is completely mandatory. That's why I'm using a Brulee beast kit with damage resist bypass instead of something like attack speed. Alright, let's see if I can beat expert mode with 1 team. That's right, even though I could use 2, I'm only using 1. This boss may not be as scary as it seems. So, pastry and chocolate cookie, I hate to break the news to you, but that tornado, it actually doesn't really do anything at all while using this team, so yeah. Okay, phase 1 is over. Notice how that was kinda slow? Well, that's normal if you aren't using Silent Salt. Now it's time for phase 2, where the boss loses his chains, and Creme Brulee really starts to shine here. Well, that was actually kinda easy. None of my cookies even got close to dying. Alright, so you can beat expert mode without a single high rarity cookie. Also, note if my cookies have a high amount of damage resist. Some of them straight up have none at all. I'm sure if you slap some on, everyone will be tankier, like maybe 25% damage resist, but I didn't need any. You can look at my builds if you want, but they aren't really a big deal. The damage resist bypass is what matters the most. So this team has a major flaw. It's really slow in the first phase. Now it's time to look at the solution, a not so free to play friendly team with Silent Salt. Although outside of Beast Raid, mine is 0 stars, so it's basically the bare minimum. However, all Beast cookies automatically get buffed to 3 stars. The goal is to kill the first phase as fast as possible, so we want to go all out on damage. We're using the scroll instead of the blue necklace, cause the blue necklace takes a long time to become better than the scroll, but the scroll's better for shorter periods of time. Since Silent Salt does dark damage, you should put Charcoal Cookie in it. He also does good damage too. Now, your first instinct may be to put Awakened Dark Cacao in the team, but don't do that. You may also be thinking, how about we put Dark Choco in the team? He does crazy debuffs and he's a dark cookie, right? So, turns out Eternal Sugar is better than him. It's just the way it is. She also deals big damage. Wait, there's still more room for Dark Cacao and Choco, right? Well, no. Cause those spots are taken by Cream Frit, our healer, and also Plavova. Wait a second, why Plavova and not some other debuffer like Gribble, Linzer, and of course Dark Choco? Doesn't Plavova suck? Well, his cooldown's insane. Like, he just spams his skill constantly. He also gives good crit and crit damage buffs. Dev Sisters themselves recommend using him. The vast majority of guides use him. And he was better for the previous Eternal Sugar Beast raid due to his debuffs and stuff. Well, time to try and speedrun the boss. This time, we aren't just trying to kill the boss, but we also want to win quickly. So the goal of this Silent Salt team is to burst down the first phase, and then we swap to the Brulee team for the second phase. That's why earlier I said the Brulee team was the best non-Silent Salt one. It's cause I'm gonna use it to speedrun anyways. Let's see what happens. Okay, Pastry, so once again that whirlwind isn't a threat at all. And Charcoal Cookie, we can slowly walk away from it cause it's pretty slow, so just no need to panic. Unless you're trying to get a high score, then yeah, there's some panic. Alright, so you may be wondering how I killed the boss so fast. Well, for the Silent Salt team, I gave literally everyone except Cream for it damage resist bypass. Yes, I even gave it to Pavlova, even though he doesn't really need anything other than cooldown since his damage kinda sucks. Here's the built-in stuff if you wanna see it, I guess. Anyways, I was able to get 7.4 million points. I killed the boss in 51 seconds. Yeah, I think that's good enough. I'm sure if you have a 6-star Silent Salt or something, you can do way better. That's all for this video. I didn't bank my deaths that much, so now's a good time to do some more. Alright, here's a big one. Oh, ow! Ah!